Hi folks and welcome back. Well, this is just about the quickest quick build there is. It's called the farm site, and all I can assume is that it's meant to be a theodolite. Well, it's 9 parts, whatever it is. 3 number 5 perforated strips making up the legs, 3 angle brackets, 1 number 24 bush wheel, and 2 number 48A double angle strips. And it's a real simple build. The lesson it's teaching, I think, is the pivot point where the site attaches to the tripod. And for all its very basic construction, it wasn't a bad little build. It took around 4 minutes to make from start to finish, and was complex enough to be a challenge to the very young builder, or someone who has run out of tea. Tea is going to be a theme in today's video, so bear with me. The original theodolite was invented in the 16th century by Leonard Diggers, an English mathematician and surveyor, and he wouldn't have drunk tea. He would have drunk beer or wine, as tea wasn't imported into Britain until the 18th century, nearly 200 years after his death. But it wasn't until the work of Jesse Ramsden that we get what we would consider the basis of the modern theodolite. And he would have drunk tea, being a hip and happening mathematician in the latter part of the 18th century. But have you ever wondered about tea and its importance in life? After all, on an average day, I drink around 12 mugs of the stuff. But back in these days, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. The price of tea in modern currency was around £2,000 a kilogram. And this is where history becomes interesting. Most of us have heard of the Boston Tea Party. It was the action of dumping some 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbour, and is a central part of the American Revolution, an act of rebellion that shocked the British world. The average tea chest contains around 50 kilograms of tea. The 342 chests dropped into the harbour had a value of nearly £30 million by today's rates. That's a big old 2 fingers up at the crown at the time, and probably blowing a raspberry sound at the same time. Soon, tea smuggling was a problem that the Crown had to deal with, as taxation on the stuff was at 120%. Eventually, the tax was reduced, and the price came down. But it took nearly a year to get tea to Britain. But don't worry, in the middle of the 19th century, a nation decided to build fast ships to get the stuff to Britain quicker. That was the Americans. Always quick to see where a fast buck can be made. In the end, of course, Britain, always slow to wake up and catch on, built the fastest tea clippers, like the Cutty Sark. Well, folks, that's it for this week. On Saturday, it's the howitzer and windmill from the 1960s, and it's a video where I got the encoding wrong. It was filmed at the beginning of the channel in 2020, and I've learned a lot since then. I'm putting it out there as it's still part of this channel's progress. And for Patreon, it's the beam engine from the 1930s. So have a great week, folks, and I will catch you on Saturday. Bye.